Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is Laughin' Games here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 versus Broodwar cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today as we continue on casting this SC EVO tournament, as we've had a wide range of maps, matches, and matchups, I guess? I don't know. As that is one of the exciting things about this mod, seeing the different matchups, Broodwar versus Starcraft 2, going both ways for the different races. It really has given us a lot more combinations. And then just having great players to commentate. I just cast threepoint versus Shin, and threepoint kind of annihilated Shin. So the next match is going to be Shin taking on Milkicow, a bit of a tricky Terran player. This time playing Broodwar against threepoint Starcraft 2 Zerg. So we'll see whether threepoint can be as lethal with Starcraft 2 Zerg as he was with Starcraft 1 Zerg. And so, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this match, make sure to go ahead, click that like button if you haven't already. If we can hit, say, 10 likes on this video, that would be amazing. Leave a comment down below saying more SC2 EVO. Let me know if you want to see more of that. And then here we are on Whispers of Gold for game number 1. It's a best of 3, which is important to keep in mind. And then we have an SCV scout for Milkicow, which is going to be important as threepoint comes on in with this Overlord, sees the double racks opening from the Terran, and threepoint will probably know exactly what he's up against. He sees the two Raxes, sees the supply depot, or he at least sees the forward racks and knows he's probably going to be up against early Marine, Medic, Firebat pressure, which seems to be the meta opener at the minute from the Terran players. There's that Academy done, which is going to allow the Marines to potentially get range, allow medics to be produced. So really, Broodwar Terran shows us that one basing can still be alive, as it's not really a thing in StarCraft 2 Terrans to one base unless it's a proxy racks, basically. And that's partly because Terran it's just way more worth it to macro up because it takes a long time to get those medivacs out, but Broodwar Terran doesn't have that, and they can get out units like Firebats and medics just with an Academy. So it does allow these early pushes. Overlords for threepoint do see everything coming his way, so the Zerg should be prepared for this. He fires up some Lings, but seeing as how there is going to be Firebats joining this, it may be a little bit concerning for the Orange Zerg as Milkicow is coming on in. Marines moving forward. Now, Queens are pretty good against Marines in low numbers, so they do get bullied back, and Milkicow is going to want a medic or two with this because, I mean, otherwise the Queens will just pick off too many of those units. Threepoint, upon seeing these Marines and Firebats crossing the map, throws up 3 spine crawlers, so he's taking this aggression very, very seriously, which I like. He actually cancels his third base, realizing it's effectively an all-in by the Terran. Now, the Firebats are coming on in, they're getting stimmed. The Lings, they're trying to avoid those Firebats as one of the Queens tries to pick one off. Every Firebat that goes down is big. Threepoint does seem to hold. He immediately cancels 2 of the spine crawlers. I really love that. Threepoint now has the Lings that he can move out on the map with, though, and he does grab one of them. A medic begins healing up the Firebats. Those Marines are just hanging out on the map. Reinforcements are crossing the map. 2 medics crossing the map do get seen by threepoint, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to pick them up. If he can, that would be huge. Looks like they will make it to the rest of the army. Threepoint maybe could have been a bit quicker there on grabbing those, so he does still have this Terran force lingering at his front base. He restarts one of the spine crawlers, realizes that Milkicow is kind of actually committing into this. That spine crawler is not necessarily sieged up in the most amazing position. The Zerg, though, is going into Banelings as that Baneling nest finishes up. That's going to give him more potential in this match. The spine crawler moves forward, so he won't be able to be bullied off his natural once again. But all in all, it is quite a nice start for Milkicow in that he really kept threepoint down. Threepoint is a two-basing Zerg. He's invested now in 4 spine crawlers as he rebuilds a few. A bit of indecision as far as what he's up against. And yeah, just a two-basing Zerg against a now two-basing Terran. So Milkicow has secured a nice lead with this. However, most of his army's on the other side of the map, so the Zerg is going to be looking for a counterattack, and there's only a single fire bat out and a single Marine to defend. Meanwhile, Milkicow is going for the attack on the other side of the map, but those extra spine crawlers don't look that goopy. Threepoint really has this matchup figured out as he continues to understand the depth of Starcraft 2 versus Broodwar in this mod. Banelings bust through the doors. However, SCV pull and a Firebat and a couple Marines that were produced do save his bacon. The spine crawlers at the front lines are doing lots of work, though, picking off the Firebats. Only one of them remains, and so Milkicow will be forced back. He took a bit of counter-economic damage that has to make him a bit uncomfortable. Threepoint can now start spamming out some drones, although he does go into a Roach Warren, which I like. But those spine crawlers he invested in did prevent the counterattack. Unfortunately, he may not have got as much counter damage done as he would have liked. A few Lings out on the map do catch a Firebat and a Marine or two, but they are all dead now, so there really isn't many units out for Threepoint. He's just defending with these spine crawlers. He's only got a queen out, as he did lose most of his other queens. He's repositioning these forward, though, trying to have them set up very effectively, and he does. However, Milkicow is not wasting any time coming on in. That spine crawler all of a sudden seems like it takes forever to burrow. It does finish unburrowing. Medics are healing the Marines, though. Milkicow micros back the injured units. Roaches are now being produced for Threepoint, but he may be in trouble as Milkicow's persistence has paid off. Another queen's being produced, roaches are being produced, but the Terran is knocking the Zerg down to just one base mining, and that's going to be GG as Threepoint knows there's no coming back from that position. Milkicow's early presence, while a very big commitment, allowed him to catch up and then win the game just outright. So really well done. And now we're going to go ahead and load on into the next match of this best of 3. Shout out to the SC EVO tournament organizers that they organize this tournament, but then they also provide the replays in such a beautiful fashion. Now, we do have an identical match in the sense that Milkicow is playing Broodwar Terran once again. Threepoint, being the loser, gets to pick the race. He's more comfortable on Starcraft 2. And then, well, we have Hyper One, who I believe is actually the organizer for these events. So big shout out to them. I can actually double check that real quickly. And while this game does get started, ladies and gentlemen, just go ahead and click that like button, as that goes a long way. Yeah, it is Hyper One, who is the one who's behind at least a significant portion of these cups, I believe. So yeah, big thanks to everyone who's just worked on this mod, provided us such an exciting new/old take on StarCraft 2, because I think that's one of the biggest complaints that people had about StarCraft 2 was that it wasn't Broodwar. Well, now you have them both, so it's the best of both worlds. Milkicow changes up his strategy, goes into a command center first, which I really love. I think he might have done this in another series, or something like that. Just a bit of meta going on, saying, hey, no, I cheesed you last game, now I'm going to expand early on. Threepoint does go for an early spawning pool. He is mining gas as well, so going to be an early Ling speed, but really just playing it safe against his opponent, worried about potential early aggression. We'll see whether he can get anything done, but Milkicow does go for that low ground wall off once more. And yeah, there's the third rack, so a bio opening once more from the Terran. We'll see if Threepoint can get this match to go later or not. Threepoint sends in this Overlord, gonna see that it is a command center first, or he at least should know that off the timing of the barracks. Sees the Academy go down as Milkicow commits to a very strong wall, maybe not wanting to be Baneling busted once again. He's got a solid barracks wall. There's no way for a StarCraft 2 Zerg to easily get through that. We do have a few Lings killing the scouting SCV of the Terran, which is quite nice. Milkicow, though, he saw everything he needed to see. He's got Marines building behind this. Although one of them does get caught in a corner, will have his friends to support him. He does actually let the Lings in, but then 3-point elects to turn them out, knowing it's a bit of a trap. And then the game just continues on macro-wise, but we get a lair going up for 3-point, so going to be going into an early tech. I wonder what it's going to be, whether it'll be a Nidus or Mutas, potentially Hydras. He does seem to like his Broodwar Hydras. Maybe he wants Starcraft 2 Hydras out. But it is just going to be a Roach Warren. I wonder, here's a Laughing Games idea. How would burrowed roaches work? Would a burrowed roach rush work against Broodwar Terran? Because of them having not necessarily always investing in that comsat station? I wonder. Not that it will be such a rush from Hyper 1, but there is the potential for tunneling claws or something like that from the Zerg. I do like the roach tech choice against the bio on the ground, though. A Roach Flood could be an option for the Starcraft 2 Zerg as well, because Zerg can really just pump out a lot of roaches for cheap, and presumably build more of them quicker than the Terran can power up on bio, as we do get a move out for Milkicow. Terran stimming after a single Ling. Hyper 1, 3-point, getting ready to defend against this, though. Producing roaches, currently with 4 out, 4 more on the way. That should be enough to defend against this, although Broodwar Terran bio seems to surprise always, as there's medics on the ground with lots of healing. The Terran is coming forward. Stimpack is done. Roaches are getting set up. Early Stimpack from Milkicow, trying to take the proper engagement. Firebat steps forward, does get taken out pretty quickly. However, 2 roaches go down. There's only 3 remaining. The medic's healing just providing so much longevity for Milkicow, as 3-point is in quite a bit of trouble. He's producing more roaches. He needs to get enough roaches grouped up that he can one volley down these Marines to prevent them being healed by the medics. And I think we are starting to see those medics also run out of energy, although that being said, there's not that many roaches left. They're having to kite back against the formidable Firebats a little bit, but these roaches, they also do have roach speed done. So they're going to be able to pursue this Terran army incredibly far. Medics going down would definitely be big, so that is a chase we're seeing as the roaches try and catch whatever they can. Milkicow is being chased all the way home. And yeah, he's going to potentially try and hold the high ground. There's really not that many medics to heal his Marines once they've stimmed. He's going to be chasing these roaches away. More roaches are reinforcing, though, so that could be a bit of a trap as Milkicow steps through the bush. 3-point turns and fights, and the Terran may have overcommitted a little bit. He's just going to stim on home. Does he fire up a bunker or anything like that? He's got 3 more medics on the way. I think that's certainly an important production. No range on these Marines, though, could make trying to fight on the other side of these barracks painful. This is production going down for the Terran, so that really hurts. He can lift off the racks, though, which is quite important, but Corrosive Biles are now present for the Zerg. If they get connections on the Marines, they will absolutely destroy them. Milkicow is going to stim forward. I think he may have needed some SCVs to try and buffer for this, though, as his Firebats do get cut down rather quickly. The Terran has got 2 more racks building inside the main, with 3 more already done, so he's already on a ridiculous, like, 6 going up to 8 racks production. So the Terran has got lots of stuff on the way, so that is pressure for Hyper for 3-point to try and get the victory here. I mean, Milkicow could potentially roll him if this game goes on too much longer, so we're just seeing more and more roaches be made. Corrosive Biles are absolutely a threat for this Terran bio. Roaches are picking off some of these units, and let's see here, as 3-point has got more and more roaches produced. Corrosive Biles going down. Milkicow steps forward, realizing with a scan on the other side of the map that if he wins this fight, he can win the game, and the bio is trading out oh so incredibly well, with +1 being done. 3-point is routed, and his Roach all-in seems to have fallen short. The medics keeping the Marines alive is just so darn big. Now, overall supply, the Zerg still has the lead, but there's a tank that's been added in. It's also already got siege mode done, which is very important. 3-point accidentally walks into his own Corrosive Bile, and he's just going to type on out as Milkicow takes a quick 2-0 just like that. Incredibly well done by the Terran player, as Milkicow shows us that he is a formidable force with his Broodwar Terran. The bio play has really been the thing that stands out the most. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this cast, click that like button. If you haven't already, leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.